Hi all! I have a new project. I'm making a hybrid that you can use for the holidays and year-round if you like, especially when it's chilly. It's a tree skirt / shawl, and I'm doing it in the Oceanside Christmas theme. So this is going to be kind of beachy blues. I've got the Red Heart Roll With It tweed in Oceanic. It's 100% acrylic, 296 yards. It's a beautiful colorway. I have a Fair Isle Liberty. I believe this is Discontinued in the color Cloud. It's 100% acrylic and 353 yards. Now I have like three balls each of this set aside. I'm not exactly sure how many yards it's going to need. I have this gold thread that I'd like to incorporate into the whole project. So to kind of give it a little bit of Christmas glamour. And I will put that over here. I like to keep the bag on it to kind of protect the delicate thread. It is, I mean, it's pretty sturdy, but I think it's a little delicate and can get tangled very easily. So you may hear it crinkle a little as we're working. So sorry if you don't like crinkles. So I'm just straightening this out. Oh, I'm using a Divit Shilp. It's a 6.5 millimeter in a teak streamline. So I'm going to start with the blue Red Heart first. So let's go ahead and get a slip knot on here. And I'm going to do a foundation single crochet stitch that I can link to a more in-depth video that I've made already on this stitch. So you just chain 2, go back into the first, and you just kind of hold it. You do it one more time. Kind of pinch that stitch right there that you just did, and then go through 2. And you want to go back into, that's why I pinch it, because it can get, yeah, it twists just a little bit. And now we're holding 2 threads, so it can be a little more tricky. Okay, so I pull through once, pull through twice, I pinch it right here, pull through 2, that gold looks real pretty with that blue. I like it. So keep doing that for 44 stitches, and I'll meet you back. So I just need to put 4 more in. Gotta make sure I get the gold in there too. All right, there's 1. 2. 3. 4. Okay. So I've finished that, and the way I do it is I turn it, like if it's going this way, I turn it like this. I kind of turn it up. Turn it up this way, so this is the edge that I'm working on. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 extended half double crochets in this first stitch right here. And actually one of them is going to be a stacked single crochet. Okay, there's one stacked single crochet, and then there's the next one. I will also link how to do stacked single crochets. I have another tutorial on that as well. So now we're going to do an extended half double crochet in the same first space. I have another tutorial on that as well to go in a little more detail. But as you see, it looks like a half double crochet, and then I pull through once on the top here, so you kind of, that's the extended part, and then you pull through all 3. That's the half double part. Okay, so then we want to put 1 extended half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So this one, and this one. So an extended half double crochet. You pull through once, and then you pull through 3. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Okay. And then you want to do in this stitch right here, and extended half double crochet, chain 1, extended half double crochet. It's a V-stitch that will allow your corners to appear. So let's go ahead and do the first extended, pull through 1, and then pull through 3. Extended half double. You do the extended part first, and then you do the half double part. So now we finished the first one. We're going to do a chain 1, and let's go ahead and put our stitch marker on that corner, so we'll see it next time. So let's do another extended half double crochet in that same space, so we can make that corner. Alright, so there we've got that V-stitch made of 2 extended half double crochets and a chain 1. Then in the next 6 stitches we're going to do extended half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then this one will be our V-stitch right here, right there. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in there ahead of time. I'm going to have more than just these couple that I have already in there, so I'm going to get more ready. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the corner. Okay, so let me go ahead and go down the row, and I'll get my stitch markers ready. So I'm going to count every 7th stitch and put in a stitch marker. Okay, so I put in a stitch marker every 7th stitch. So let's go ahead and do our extended half double crochets. We're going to do 6 extended half double crochets. Let me turn this light on, this might help. One thing that's nice about putting in your stitch markers ahead of time, you do your count, then you don't have to worry about losing track of where you are, and especially if you get interrupted. So from here to here, there should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is, oops, no, this one right here is not counted. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So then in here, we're going to put in 1 extended half double crochet. Just put it through. There's your, yeah, I don't like it there. I like it here, through the actual space, not in the stitch, but in the space. Oops, I almost did a double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here. I need my old stitch markers. These just are so frustrating. Okay, so now let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Stitch. So go ahead and complete that till you get to the last V-stitch, and I'll show you what we do on the last 4. Okay, so I've just finished the V-stitch, or the first half of the V-stitch, and then I did the single crochet, and now I'm going to do the extended half double crochet. I'm sorry, chain. It was a chain. I put the stitch marker over the chain. It's a V-stitch here. Now there are 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to do 3 extended half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going to put 2 extended half double crochets in the last stitch. Just one after the other, no chain in between. It's not a corner. This, I'm just trying to make it overlap a little bit. And we won't be doing this every row. That's the end of the first row, and look, it's already starting to turn. These 2 will overlap because I'm adding 2 stitches on the ends here. If it was just going to be a tree skirt and not a shawl, you could just put 1 in the first stitch and 1 in the last stitch, but I want it to overlap a little bit so it'll be easy to stay on. But this is the neck hole and the place where you put it around the tree. I do a very distinctive leveling up. You can do whatever kind of leveling up you want to do. I kind of turn it like a book, left to right, so that the stitches, that the live yarn is in the back. You can turn it however you like. I go right into the stitch. I don't do any chain one. I lift it up. I have 2 stitches on my hook. This is a stacked single crochet. I go into the pants, the legs of the stitch, and I do that one more time, and there I go. I've done it twice, 2 stacked single crochets to level up. Then I go back into the same stitch and I do an extended half double crochet. All right, then we're going to do an extended half double crochet all the way across. So we're not going to put 2 stitches in here every time just the first couple, just so that we have a little bit of an overlap. I think 3 rows is fine. Okay, so how many stitches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now here's our gap, our turning, our corner. So we're going to put in a V stitch. So we put in that extended half double crochet, put in that chain. Let's put our stitch marker back in here. And finish the V stitch with an extended half double crochet. Okay. Now you can decide which, because there's going to be 8 in between. So you can decide to put it either in here, in this spot, and pull that down. See that right there? That's the space here, or you can put it in this stitch. But you're going to want to put 8 stitches in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you put it in both, you end up having 9 stitches. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to just leave this one alone. This one just looks a little wonky. So I'm just going to go into this one. What that means is I have to put in the last stitch right here. I can't skip that. Okay, so now I need to put it in this stitch right here. And then into the space. So I go under the bar that I just stitched into. Then I want to create that chain stitch. My stitch marker up. And then do the second half of that stitch with an extended half double crochet. So if you pull it back, you'll see there's the other stitch, but I could put it in here, or I can put it in here. And for some reason, this feels like a better stitch, so I'm going to do it again the same way. So I'm just going to leave that stitch alone and just put in my 8 stitches starting here. So we're in the corner, doing our V stitch. There's the chain. Let's move it up. Our stitch marker. And finish the V stitch. All right. Keep on going and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so we are finishing the last corner with the V stitch. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. We're going to put a extended half double crochet in each one, and I just want you to pay attention. Do you see how there is a ridge here, but there isn't one on this side? You want to make sure that every stitch has the ridge. Okay, if you don't have it and you go back and forth and you sometimes have the ridge and sometimes don't, because there will be three, see, looks like 3 stitches on the top here. You could do this side or you can do this side. Decide which side you want to have the ridge on. You can do it the same way every time, or you can switch it so that the ridge is always on facing one side and the other side never has the ridge. It's up to you how you want to do it. You know, or you could just go right down the middle and just use the middle of these 3 stitches. That's just the nature of the half double crochet. The top of a half double crochet is you've got a choice. Just make one and stick with it. Decide how you want it to look. But it is completely up to you how you want that to look. Here's the 3. There's a bar here, there's a bar here, and there's a bar there. I'm putting a ridge facing me, so I put it in the top and the back one. That's where I've decided to put my stitch. It's completely up to you. You decide what you like, how you want that ridge to show up. If you want to go both ways, you can actually just put it in this one stitch. You see there's a bar there and there's a bar there. I don't think it's as strong, like it's a weaker stitch. You see that? But you'll have a bar on both sides, and then as you continue on, it will probably, most likely, this hole will even out. It won't be such a big gap. That's just the way sometimes these stitches, they look at first, they look like they're going to be a terrible gap, but then once you put the stitch on either side of it, it's fine. This is how I'm going to do it. You can do it however you like, because this is Crochet Your Way today. And you get to choose. I'm going to put 2 stitches in this last stitch. This was my stacked, oops, and I just made a double crochet. Did you see that? Double crochets are just so easy to slip into if you're not careful, because we do those a lot as crocheters. Come on. And remember, I don't do a chain one when I make my stacked single crochets to level up, so I just turn the work over and we will get ready to do the next row. So at the end, we're going to turn it like a book. There are the ridges on this side or that side. I don't know. I think I'm going to just keep the ridges on one side. So what that means is I'm going to go under this bar right here and this bar. I'm doing my stacked single crochets. And I think this is going to be the last row where I put 2 stitches in that first stitch, because I think that's enough, and then I can just continue down. And let's do our extended half double crochets. So you see I'm doing it just the opposite of what I did on the other row. I'm taking this lower bar and this top bar. So what that's doing is it's making a ridge on just this side only. You don't have to do that. You can do it however you want. I'm just going to continue all the way around, just filling in every stitch and then putting in the V-stitch in the spaces, and you decide if you want the stitch on the right or the stitch on the left of the V-stitch to be your either your first or your final stitch in the straights between the straightaways between your corners. Okay, so we are coming up on the end. Now, at this point, we're no longer going to increase. I feel like that's enough of an overlap at this point. See that? It's almost 3 inches of overlap. That's plenty. Which means when you turn it, you're going to do your leveling up however you choose to do that. But it's going to be even more important that you choose something that doesn't create a gap. A 3-chain gap will look terrible at this point. So that's why it's really important to choose either stacked or a standing double crochet, because this is all that's going to be in that stitch, whatever it is that you chose to level up. Because then we're going to continue our extended half double crochets. And remember I chose to have the ridge on one side. So just make sure that you're following your choice. The only time you're not going to see a ridge is this first foundation row, because it was a single crochet, so there wasn't that extra bar going across. The only thing that's different about it was the beginning and ending. Everything else is the same. And you can change the yarn color whenever you want. I'm just going to do these 4 rows, and then I think I'm going to do a couple of rows of this white. Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to change color, and I'll show you how to do it with the gold thread. We'll just put this aside and move it so that it's not in the way, and I'm just going to cut it, leaving a little tail. Not too small of a tail, but just, you know, a nice little tail. Now I'm just going to remove this blue from the entanglement of the gold yarn and put that aside. We will come back to it. So here's the gold thread, and now I'm going to include white. Yeah, it's not as good. You can't be able to see it as well against the white background, but trust me, it's there. Actually, before I pull it, I'm going to put my hook back through these loops. Now, there we go. So now it's ready to add the white. Okay, so I'm on the last row. I have done quite a few sets of 4 blue and 2 white. So I've done 23, so this will be the 24th row. I'm going to add some beads to it. Okay, so I'm just going to level up. I'm going to start a picot. 1. And then the second one, I'm going to pick up a bead, a smaller hook that fits over the bead. Oops. Oh, don't do that. And let's pull it through. So that's 2, 3. You come back down, you go into the bars of the stitch before you started your picot. And that was it. Let's do a couple of extended half double crochets. 1. You see that? That was an extended half double crochet, 1 chain, pull it through using the smaller hook, 2, 3, and you go down into the legs of the stitch below. Because it's an extended half double crochet, it has 3. Let's do 2 more. And on the third one, we will add a picot and a bead. Okay, that extended half double crochet is finished. We're going to start our picot with 1 chain. And you put the bead on. 2, 3. You go into the pants, into the legs of the stitch. And that's a slip stitch at the end. Let's do 3 more extended half double crochets. Two, 3. Okay, let's start the picot. 1 chain, add your bead, 2, 3, and you go into the legs. Okay, so I'm going to do the corner. I'm at the last bead before I do the corner. Let's pull this one through. Okay, I would do a beginning. Now we're going to do a space, but we're going to do a picot. Actually, I'm not going to do a space at all. I'm not even going to do a V. I'm just going to fill them in with 3. So since there's going to be 3, we're going to put a picot on the middle one. 3 extended half double crochets. That's 1. This is the second one. I'm going to put a bead on the end of it. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Now, the next one, looks like we should put another one right here, just so that it's kind of even. There's a stitch and a stitch between the beads, just one here on the corner. So that would mean we start the picot. And I will do 3 stitches and do the picot on the 3rd stitch. And go back to 3 again. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to have to make a judgment call on your corners, like I did just here, and that means that you may end up with some closer together than others. But I think it looks more evenly balanced as it goes around that corner. So I'll meet you back when I'm finished. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and share if you can. Thanks for watching.